Following up on my previous video about AI and its potential effects on the American job market, today we're going to talk about challenge number 2 to our economic future and our jobs, and that's what I like to call the demographic crisis. Now, everyone's talking about AI, almost no one's talking about this, and it might be the biggest challenge we face. So what is it? Well, that's what we're going to talk about. Hello, this is Dan Trudeau. I'm the VP and Executive Recruiter at PRAUSA, and today I want to talk to you in the second of a video series I'm doing about the biggest problems facing the American job market going into the decades ahead. Now, my first video was about AI and its potential effect on American jobs and frankly jobs worldwide. Today, what I'm going to be talking to you about is what I call the demographic crisis. Now, the demographic crisis is potentially a much bigger problem than AI, yet while there's a good chance you've talked to people about AI, had conversations about it, most people watching this video right now are not familiar with the concept of a demographic crisis and what does it mean. So, what does it mean? Now, you may remember that after all the COVID quarantines ended and the job market opened up, companies started getting back to basically more of a regular pattern. Businesses that had no problem in the past finding people suddenly found themselves too short of people to even get back to their regular hours, their regular type of business, etc. I knew things had changed when I saw this. That's right, McDonald's was not only paying at an hourly rate that, in 2018 they would have said was crazy, you can't ask us to pay people that much. Not only were they paying people that much, but they're offering a hiring bonus, a sign-on bonus. I never thought I'd see McDonald's offering that. Really, it was the beginning, the first time sort of a shockwave was hitting the general public about the demographic crisis. And what is the demographic crisis? We have far more people aging out and retiring out of the workforce than we have aging up into the workforce. Quite a bit more. Like, look at this chart. I'll make it a little bigger so you can see it. That's right, in the last 50 years, birth rates in the United States have gone down by around 50%. So this all hit right after COVID because during COVID, a higher number of people than had been expected for obvious reasons retired. This is a mathematical reality that we are not as of yet dealing with very well because it does not fit in to the narratives that we're used to and the potential solutions we're comfortable with. And this problem is not fixing itself. Even if we reversed the birth rate and started bringing it back up again and all of a sudden our population started growing again, that's a gradual process. That doesn't turn on a dime. We'd still be looking at a couple decades of being short of the people we need to get necessary work done. This is tricky because, simply put, we've never faced this before. And we're not the only people facing it. Japan has now been facing it for generations. Most European countries are running into the same problem. Heck, even China is running into this problem now. There's going to be a ripple effect that will have both short and long-term consequences. One of the short-term consequences that could be good, and we've already seen some of it, is that compensation goes up. That companies do, if they want to have good people, they do have to offer more money than they would have before. Of course, people say, yeah, but the problem is with inflation, which I get, and obviously we've been having a problem with inflation. But here's the thing, the longer term inflation threat is not so much higher compensation, because if you pay people more, in the long term, they will also spend more, which will help grow the economy. So that one, even if it doesn't come to even, balances itself out a bit. The bigger long-term inflation threat are higher costs due to, frankly, people not being there to do things that need to get done. If a factory can't run to its highest level of efficiency or even a baseline level of efficiency because they can't get the people in the door, or if there aren't people, say, to deliver things once you have manufactured them, or help you out when you have an issue with them, or aren't there to provide the services necessary to go with these things, it all adds up. It all leads to cost and it leads to inflationary prices. And just beyond inflation, there's also the threat of, you're sick, you need to see a doctor, there's not the staff to take you in for another 2 weeks unless it's an emergency. There's a pipe leaking in your basement and water's gathering, but there isn't a plumber available for the next 2 weeks, and when they are available, and maybe it's at a price you can't afford. Well, going back to what I spoke to before, a lot of people when I bring this up say, well, what about AI and automation? If we don't have enough people to fill these jobs, surely, while those things look threatening right now, couldn't they also be a boon? Maybe couldn't they also be a solution? If we can't get enough people to be cashiers in stores, okay, there's self-checkout. We could go to that. Again, something people have been pretty scared of, but maybe that'll help take care of some of the jobs there. Okay, sure. Will AI and automation fix the leaky pipe I mentioned in your basement? Will it fix your car? Bring you your groceries right to your door? I mean, well, maybe that'll be soon, but still, we're gonna need someone to program those things and manage them, and what if we're short on those? So yes, I do believe AI and automation will be part of how we manage this. It's just not the end-all be-all solution some people believe it will be. Okay, so what else can we do? There are actually two problems we're dealing with right now that if we manage them correctly, maybe they wouldn't fix the whole problem, but they would help us make it more manageable. And those two problems are what I'm going to talk about in the next video. So make sure you like, share, and most of all, subscribe to the PRA USA YouTube channel. We have 30 plus years of experience in recruiting, employment, etc. Use that knowledge, use that experience that we've gained to benefit you and get the career and life that you deserve.